Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk to you about how or I should say, the South African government needs to preserve the Jan Smuts home out in Centurion, South Africa. That home is a historical home, and due to the excess heat during the summer and the excess cold in the winter, a lot of the books in the library are withering away where you can't really read the books, or the books are not in as good a condition as they could be. But so the home needs a government grant, but the ANC government basically will not give the Jan Smuts Board of Trustees or Jan Smuts' family that's currently living, won't give them a government grant to keep up the place. Basically, that home has been privately owned, but attracts, well, particularly in the past, attracted lots of tourists. And in some cases, still does attract a lot of tourists. I mean, Jan Smuts was Prime Minister of South Africa during World War II, and he was basically borderline on Winston Churchill's War Council during World War II. And South Africa, as I pointed out in previous videos, did amazing things in World War II. The air war in North Africa and the North Africa campaign was pretty much done by South Africa. And that allowed the British to completely concentrate on the Battle of Britain and also completely concentrate on Europe, where they didn't have to spread out their air force very much. And that was a huge accomplishment. And the South African Air Force basically annihilated the Italian Air Force in the World War II Africa campaign. But this is not a World War II video. Other than Jan Smuts, and that made a speech before British Parliament and talked about all the evils the Nazis did in the Holocaust. And so Jan Smuts was a very good man. And this is a guy who forgave the British for putting him in a concentration camp. And he had fought against the British in the Boer War. He was a Boer general, and he sided with Paul Kruger over Cecil Rhodes. So he was not a traitor to the Afrikaner community by any means. So the house needs to be preserved, and it's pretty disgraceful that the ANC can't give them a government grant on this, because the ANC can drive flashy $1 million cars or $500,000 cars. They can take trips abroad, staying in 5-star resorts, but they can't give a simple grant to try to preserve and keep up the Jan Smuts house. And had Jan Smuts not been Prime Minister of South Africa, South Africa probably would have sided with Nazi Germany in World War II, and it would have been not good for any population in Africa, white or black. They all would have been oppressed. Like, way worse than they were. Hope everybody's doing well. Take care. God bless them. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.